got an article from BountyOnlyComics.com here. Thor 4 suffers near 70% drop in its second week at the box office. It's not a good thing. Excuse me. For a movie that's most expensive non-Marvel or non-Avengers MCU film to date, that's not the performance that Marvel Studios expected nor wanted for Thor 4. That's an understatement. Goes on, talks about it's the number one. It is the number one movie in the world for the second consecutive week. Which is cool. Okay, but it suffered a 68% drop in its second week in its box office, which ranks among the worst of the second week drop-offs, including Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness, which is 68 or 67%, and Black Widow, which is 68. Right now, it sits at $497.9 million after 2 weeks. Which, hey, isn't bad. I mean, but at the same time, insiders claim the film will have to hit the $700 million worldwide mark just to break even, given the massive costs associated with production. It says Marvel spent $250 million in the production of the film alone. While it's expected to hit that mark, the performance will be considered a major disappointment for Marvel Studios, who are expecting $1 billion from the film starring one of the founding members of the MCU's Avengers team. Talk about it's expected to perform far below what Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness did, which grossed over $950 million towards the end of its run. However, both of them pale in comparison to Spider-Man No Way Home, which has grossed over $1.9 billion, which is crazy. I mean, that's awesome. But anyway, then it talks some about where it stands in terms of the domestic box office this year. I'll link it in the description box if you guys want to read that stuff. Then it talks some about how the Phase 4 movies so far have been underperformers. You got Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Eternals. None of those movies did all that great. Then got a boost from the No Way Home, but then Doctor Strange 2, it did well. It did well. Not quite at $1 billion. I'm not really sure all the money stuff for that and everything in terms of how much it costs, because there's rumors of how much it costs. It obviously had to cost a lot, because there was reshoots, there was all kinds of stuff. A lot of this stuff isn't official. It's more insiders just talking about it. But anyway, and they talk about how next up is the Black Panther sequel, Wakanda Forever, which is coming out in November. I don't know how to feel about that movie, because on the one hand, it's like, man, I don't think it's going to do all that well. Just based on the fact that Chadwick Boseman's not going to be in it. There's going to be a lot of people who were fans of his and are going to be like, I don't want to see it because he's not in it, obviously. But at the same time, I can also see other people saying, I want to see what they do. I'm interested in seeing how they handle this, the transfer of power and all that kind of stuff. So, maybe. I mean, at the same time, though, I haven't heard anything about this movie, seen anything about the movie, like, officially. So, I mean, it might be really good. Pessimistically, or I'm pessimistic on it because I'm just kind of cynical. But at the same time, I'm optimistic enough to keep an open mind. Maybe it'll be a really good movie. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, like I said, I'll link this in the description box if you want to happen to see or read it for yourself. Me personally, it's like, these movies, they're getting what they deserve because they're prioritizing stupid bullshit over actually making good movies. But at the same time, I do want to say that Thor movies never made a ton of money. Especially the early ones, but, so I mean, it's hard to say, I don't know. Me personally, I'm not really surprised at this. So, they might be surprised, but I don't know why they were expecting this to be a huge movie for them. It wasn't going to happen. Anyway, I'll go ahead and wrap this up here. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good one.